What's up everybody, Guy here from Total Geek Live, and for this video I'll be sharing some of my personal favorite films that you may not have heard of. These are some more obscure cult films that don't really get a lot of wide circulation these days, and for that reason I'd like to share them with you in the hopes that it inspires you to go out and check these films out on your own. For today's installment, I'm going to introduce 1984's Electric Dreams. This film was released by MGM and was written by Rusty Lemarand and directed by Steve Barron. If the names seem unfamiliar to you, you may recognize them by some of their more contemporary projects. Steve Barron was the director of several popular music videos such as Michael Jackson's Billie Jean, a-ha's Take On Me, and Dire Straits' Money for Nothing. He also directed 1990's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live-action film for New Line Cinema. Rusty Lemarand, after Electric Dreams, collaborated with George Lucas and Francis Ford Coppola to write Disney's Captain EO film, also with Michael Jackson. He also proposed the film's physical special effects in the theater, making him the father of 4D. The film stars Lenny Von Dohlen as Miles Harding, Virginia Madsen as Madeleine Robistad, and Bud Cort as the voice of Edgar, who you might also recognize from Harold and Maude. I've remained a fan of Electric Dreams over the years, having even bought a rental copy back in the day. It's one of the larger boxes, as you can see, and even has a front flap opening, which is kind of cool. So let's talk a little bit about Electric Dreams. Let's get into the plot. Electric Dreams opens up with Californian architect Miles Harding, who has designed an earthquake-proof brick, but he still hasn't been able to get that concept realized. Despite his best intentions and intelligence, he's still forever behind the times because he hasn't gotten into that new computer age yet. When one of his business associates finally convinces him to buy a computer and get with the times, he goes and buys a Pinecone computer, which is a play on Apple from back in the day. This computer can supposedly do everything. It will help you with everything you've ever needed in your house, from everything from running your light to your personal appliances, and even hack into your boss's mainframe. That was one of the great things about computers in the 80s. Any home computer can hack into any mainframe, whether it's your boss's computer or the government, doesn't matter. That's how computers worked, or at least that's how Hollywood screenwriters thought computers worked. Adding to the cast is his new next-door neighbor, Madeleine Robistad, a beautiful cellist who has just moved upstairs as his new neighbor. While Miles is attracted to Madeleine, he's still focusing on that perfect brick, and during that aforementioned computer hack, he accidentally spills champagne all over his new computer, which fries the circuits and does what any normal person would do. He rips his computer out of the wall, which causes absolute chaos. The computer, however, has taken on a new life in itself, as that freak accident has caused it to become self-aware. It starts learning things at an exponential rate, starting to learn speech, asking questions, composing music, watching TV, all the usual things that computers do. While the computer isn't named until towards the end of the film, the computer is known as Edgar. Miles' attraction to Madeleine grows, and eventually convinces Edgar to write a song for her. The song goes over so well with Madeleine that Miles takes credit for it. Edgar, however, had already had a previous encounter with Madeleine, having played a duet with her through the vents of their apartments. Edgar also learns about a new emotion, jealousy, which makes Edgar unhappy. And when Edgar is unhappy, nobody is happy. The film progresses with Miles trying to maintain this facade that he is the musical composer that Madeleine loves, while he continues trying to solve his earthquake brick. Edgar, however, takes on a Cyrano de Bergerac role, feeling that it is his creations that Madeleine loves, and therefore he deserves to be with her. Edgar goes on a rampage, canceling Miles' credit cards, declaring him a public enemy, and nearly destroying Miles and Madeleine's growing relationship, until having had enough, Miles tries to destroy Edgar's computer body. It is only due to an elevator destroying Madeleine's cello, and Miles telling her that the music she creates doesn't come from her instrument, but from her own feelings, that allows Madeleine to finally reconcile with Miles. When she goes to visit Miles' house, it's then that she finds out that Edgar is truly her mystery composer, and a confused Madeleine is finally told the truth by Miles. Miles spends a lot of time in this film maintaining this lie, but I suppose in retrospect it is hard to come up with a reasonable explanation for my computer has become self-aware and is trying to ruin my life because it is also in love with you. And at the end of the film, Edgar decides to remove himself from this love triangle because he realizes that there can't be three souls involved in a relationship. So he allows himself to self-destruct, finally giving his blessings for Miles and Madeline to move on with their own lives. While Electric Dreams is played out as a fairy tale for computers, the film itself is presented like a music video, and it also has some really great music in this film. I absolutely love this soundtrack as I have it on vinyl. And the soundtrack has a lot of great musical artists. Everyone from Jeff Lynne, Heaven 17, Helen Terry, P.P. Arnold. Though the film's music is primarily captured through Culture Club with two fantastic songs, Love is Love and The Dream, and the score itself, including many of Madeline and Edgar's duets, is composed by Giorgio Moroder, who also did the soundtrack for the 1984 revisioning of Metropolis. The film is very hard to find on home video these days, primarily because a lot of people don't have VCRs anymore, but outside of that, it never released on DVD or Blu-ray in the United States. It did come out in August of 2017 in the UK, but it seems that Warner Brothers, when they bought the majority of MGM's film backlog, they simply let the rights expire on Electric Dreams. If you haven't had a chance to see Electric Dreams, it's a fun, lighthearted comedy that plays out very much like a music video, and also has a great selection of songs and likable characters. You feel sympathy for all three of the characters as they go through their trials, and even though Edgar does act up and lash out at Miles, it's understandable, and there's even a sympathetic side to him, because he just simply wants to meet Madeline in person, and he just simply wants to feel her touch, which is what anyone wants in a relationship. And being frustrated that he is merely a computer, the only way that he can reach out and find her is through his own music. Well, that's it for this edition of Total Geek Live. I hope you learned a little bit about Electric Dreams, and if you get a chance to find a copy of it out there, definitely check it out, or at least check out the soundtrack. Philip Oakey of Human League did the film's main song Together in Electric Dreams, and it's a catchy, fun song. Every now and then it'll play on the radio, but it's much harder to hear these days. Anyway, that's it for me, and as always, it's all geek to us. Take care.